Okay, so we already know how to add elements to the list. We actually have various methods of doing so, and now we'll also learn various methods for removing items from a list. Well, the first one is quite obvious, like the name is quite obvious. We can use the word remove. And what will happen if we use the word remove? Keep in mind that right now our list animals has multiple llamas in it. So you can actually stop the video and try to guess what will happen, whether the Python will remove all the llamas or just one llama. Okay, if you have your guess, then you can run this example and you can see that Python just has removed the first llama and the other two has stayed here. So this is the thing you have to keep in mind when using remove method. Python will do the work for you and find the element and remove element matching what you have used here as an argument, but only the first one. If we want to remove another llama, you have to run this code again. Another llama was removed again, and now all of the llamas are removed from the list. If we run this code again, we get the error, an error that this argument, which we provided here, was not in a list. So we were trying to remove something which was not in the list. So this is also something you have to be aware of, that you can only remove things which are inside the list, otherwise you get an error. Similarly, as with adding items to the list, you also have a simplified method, like other methods of removing things. You can do it with indices. Whether it's simplified or not, it depends on the view, but yeah, you can do it with indices. So for instance, let's check what is our current state of animals list. So it looks like this, and imagine that we want to remove the first element. If we run this function, if you use this method pop, which takes as an argument index of the element we want to remove, we can see that cat was removed from the list. Now let's try to remove tiger. The index is 0, 1, 2, so I run it, and yeah, tiger is gone from my list. So yeah, these are first two methods how you can remove stuff from a list. Of course, you can combine these things with for loops and stuff like this to remove all elements from the list. For instance, here you already have seen this example. Here I go through all of the indices of the list, no matter what the length of the list is, because I asked the Python to check the length of the list first. And each time I ask Python to remove the first item of a list, and then I'm left with empty list. So empty list is something you haven't seen yet, but for obvious reasons, I guess. I mean, it's natural that we should have something like this, exactly the same as we have a number 0. We also have a set. We need to have a way of expressing that we have a set of element where there is nothing left inside, because this just happens in life. You can have a wallet with money, and if you remove everything from it, it has to be an empty wallet. There is a concept like this. We have to have things which describe stuff like this. So you can also get this behavior. Again, similarly as with remove, when you are trying to remove something from from a list which was not there, you got an error. If you are trying to remove something from an empty list, or if let's say our list is not empty, we will input something into the list. Animals equals, let's say, tiger and dog, and we will try to, not the dog but dog, and we will try to remove something which does not match is index of the list. We get error pop index out of range. So we were trying to remove something which with index out of range of our list. So we have to be also aware of that. So let's get back to the example we had. So we had an empty list, and here 0. We can of course check that the empty list has length 0. So this makes sense. So we already have seen two methods, pop and remove, of removing things from the list. There is also a third method which actually works with deleting anything in Python. So let's create a new list with programming languages. If we want to delete some element of a list, we can also use a reserved keyword del and then just point Python to the correct element, and then Python will remove this element from the list. Moreover, let's add some more languages here. We can use it with slices. So if I run this code now and try to remove the entire slice, as you can see, I ask Python to remove elements 1, 2, 3 excluded, so 1 and 2. Elements 1 and 2 are here, so these elements are removed, and we are left only with Python and R. So yeah, this operator works works like this, that you absolutely delete from Python anything which is written here. So any part of the list you can express somehow can be deleted with this structure. So finally, you can also delete the entire list, and then if we try to call it, even though we have already defined this, Python will tell us name programming languages is not defined because we have deleted this variable. So this variable doesn't exist anymore, and so Python doesn't know how what we mean when we are saying programming languages. So as you can see, the delete operator, del operator, I would say is the most powerful one from the ones we have seen. Okay, so this concludes our overview of lists. I guess the things we've seen were maybe they were simpler than some of the stuff we have seen in the previous notebooks, like for loops and stuff, but there is more of the information here, like because we wanted to show you different methods for list, different things about lists, and now we will do the same for dictionaries. So this is the topic we'll cover in the next few videos. So I hope you enjoyed lists, and I'll see you in the videos concerning dictionaries.